What is going on, guys? This Saturday is UFC Fight Night Vegas something. Uh, Murphy versus Emmett. I'm going to go to my full card predictions, starting with the prelim opener of Vanessa Demopoulos versus Talita Alencar. They really open it up with a great fight to open up this card. So excited. I'm going to go Vanessa Demopoulos to win via decision. This is probably going to be a boring fight. It's probably going to suck. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm leaving it at that. Moving up the card. It's not going to open because this, literally before I started to record this video, I pulled up Twitter and this popped up. We had originally supposed to be Kennedy and Zejuku versus Martin Budai. Kennedy has pulled out, which I was going to pick him. And this guy has stepped in. I have no clue who this guy is. I'm just going to go Martin Budai because I have no clue who this guy is. And everybody's picking him. And because he's taking the fight on like 3 days notice. So he's probably not prepared. You're on. Yeah, no clue who he is. Wish him the best of luck. Because Martin Budai is not the most steep competition. Moving up the card, we have Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. I'm going to go Victor Henry, but I'm not super confident in that pick. I don't rate Pedro very well, but I also don't rate Victor Henry very well either. He's kind of older, probably he's a favorite too. Probably towards the tail end of his career. Hasn't really done much, kind of traded wins and losses in the UFC. Never really had any momentum going. I think he's pretty decently well-rounded everywhere. So I'm going to pick Victor Henry to get it done via decision. Oh, and I'm going to pick Martin Budai to get it done via decision as well. So yeah, be picking some decisions on this card. Moving up the card, we have Luma Boomy versus Estela Nunes. 6-5 Estela Nunes. I can't remember the last time she's won a fight. I don't know why she's in the UFC anymore. I'm going to pick Luma Lookboomy. I can't say it like that. That just sounds goofy. I'm going to pick Luma Lookboom. TKO win for Luma Lookboom. I think she's going to find the finish. She's actually, for a women's fighter, she's pretty aggressive and pretty, like she has some pop in her shots. Unlike some women's fighters who kind of just, they throw it out there. Moving up, we have Reese McKee versus Daniel Fruenza. Daniel didn't really, even though he won, so he's coming off the Contender Series. Even though he won his fight on the Contender Series, he did not look super impressive while doing it. I'm going to go Reese McKee. I think he is good enough, better, the differential on the feet. I think he's going to have an edge in that. I think he'll be able to take advantage of it to get the win over Daniel. I don't think he's going to finish him. I think he's probably going to win via decision. Maybe like a 29-28 decision where he wins the second and third round and Daniel comes out strong in the first round. Because I don't see Daniel out grappling Reese McKee. I know that's like definitely the hole in his game is the grappling. I just don't see a fighter like Daniel being able to go out there and implement that grappling to beat McKee. Moving up the card, Daniel Belbita versus Diana Barbosa. I'm going Barbosa. Belbita just, she hasn't, did she even have any, I think she's got like 1 or 2 wins in the UFC. I think it's 2. Could be wrong. She's just okay. You know, she's not real good anywhere. She's kind of like decently well-rounded. Where I think Barbosa definitely has, like I was talking about earlier, how some of these women fighters, they don't have that pop. I think Barbosa has that pop. And I'm going to pick Barbosa to win via submission. Rear naked choke. That's what I'm calling. Gianna Barbosa via rear naked choke in the 3rd round. Moving up the card. This was kind of a difficult fight to pick. We have Davy Grant versus Daniel Santos. I always get Daniel Santos and Felipe Dos Santos confused in my mind. Because I'm going to be honest, I 100% thought they were the same person until I just saw the name. So let's, now I got people flipped in my mind. Let me look this up real quick. Because I'm pretty sure I know who he fought last, but I want to make sure it's the person. Yes. Okay. Okay. So this is who I thought it was. Listen, the last time Davy Grant fought, I picked against him because of his age. And I wanted to pick him, but I felt like I couldn't pick him. I felt like Tavares was going to go out there and use his boxing and outbox Davy Grant. Showed out like how much of a one-dimensional fighter Tavares was. I'm not going to make that same mistake again. I'm going to pick Davy Grant to win via decision. I might regret this. He has a pretty bad record. But Santos hasn't beaten the best competition yet in the UFC. So I'm going to go with Davy Grant to win via decision. And be dangerous like he usually is. Opening up the main card, we have Torres Finney versus Robert Valentin. Robert Valentin coming off the Ultimate Fighter. Torres Finney coming off the Contender Series 3 times, as you can see by his record of 3-0. It's funny because me and Torres Finney are the same height. We're both 5'8". And he's a pretty heavy favorite. That's who I was going to pick, regardless. I'm going to pick Torres Finney to win via TKO, ground and pound TKO. I think he's going to implement the grappling, take Robert Valentin down, and beat him into a pulp and win via TKO. If not, I think he's just going to grind him out. Pause. All 3 rounds to win via unanimous decision. Very dominant 30-27 unanimous decision if he can't get that finish on the ground. I could also see like a head and arm choke. That'd be another finish I could see Torres getting. I feel like his name should be flipped. It should be Finney Torres, not Torres Finney. Nonetheless, moving up the card. We have Ode Osborne versus Louis Gurel. Again, you have Ode Osborne, bag of mixed results in the UFC. Kind of on a skid right now. In his last fight, lost to Ronaldo Rodriguez. Even though I thought he won that fight, he dropped and hurt Rodriguez badly in the 1st round. Went on to lose the 2nd round. And then I thought he did enough to win the 3rd round. I had that score 29-28 for Ode Osborne. I don't see how he got the win. Anyway, my biggest fear with picking Ode Osborne is, can Gurel out-grapple him? I don't think he can. And on the feet, I give Ode Osborne the striking advantage. Does he have a reach advantage? He does have a significant reach advantage as well. I'm going to pick Ode Osborne. He's going to go out there and get a finish. I'm going to pick Ode Osborne to win the 2nd round TKO. I think he's going to be working him in the 1st round. Almost get him towards the end of the 1st round. Not get the finish. Go into the 2nd round. And he's going to get the finish. We're going to pick Ode Osborne via 2nd round TKO. Moving up the card. Dude, even though you see these, Tavares is a pretty heavy favorite. But Brad Tavares versus Gerald Meerschaert. I don't think Tavares should be that heavy of a favorite. He's both guys have taken a lot of damage. Both guys have been in a lot of wars. Both guys are up and down, winning, loss, winning, loss. I'm going to go Brad Tavares to win via decision. I think if it got on the ground, Meerschaert definitely has the advantage. But I just don't see Gerald Meerschaert. He doesn't have very good entries to a takedown. So I just don't see him being able to get Brad Tavares down. And if he does, I think he's going to struggle to keep him down. Brad Tavares has very good takedown defense. He's got very good power. I could even see him chinning Gerald Meerschaert because it's been done before. I'm going to stick with Gerald Meerschaert or Brad Tavares via decision. I think Meerschaert is, although he has been finished plenty of times, he is shown to be a somewhat durable fighter. So I think the striking differential is really what is going to help Tavares win this fight. I think he is leaps and bounds better on the feet than Meerschaert, and I just don't see Meerschaert being able to implement the grappling. So yeah, should be a good fight. Kind of excited to see this fight. A couple of older veterans in that middleweight division that have never fought each other. Excited to see it. Moving up the card. Featured fight. I'm pretty sure I picked him in his last fight. We have Cortavius Romeus versus Chang Ho Lee. I'm going to pick... Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm going to pick Chang Ho Lee to win via decision. In Romeus' last fight, I just feel like he didn't have that. He needed to go, and he wasn't doing it. He was able to get out-grappled in moments. The only thing I slightly worry about picking Lee is you get a lot of these guys that come off the road to UFC, and the competition on the road to UFC is not very good. So sometimes they get into the UFC. You know, some of them are done great, but sometimes they don't. I'm going to pick Lee to win via decision, but I'm not super confident in that pick. But yeah, that's what we'll go with. Moving up, co-main event. Decent co-main event. We have Pat Sabatini versus Joe Anderson Brito. This should be a fun and exciting fight. Brito in his last fight, I thought he won it against Gomez. I believe it was William Gomez. In that Paris card. Pat Sabatini, Jonathan Pierce was his last win. Which they both have an opponent in common in Jonathan Pierce. They both beat him. And when I was initially thinking about this fight, I was thinking about Joe Anderson Brito via KO in the first round. I picked him to KO Gomez in his last fight, and he didn't. He went to a decision and lost. He's pretty well rounded. I would say his probably worst area of expertise is the grappling, and Sabatini, that is his area of expertise, is the grappling. But the takedowns aren't super good for Pat Sabatini. So I will go with Joe Anderson Brito. I'm gonna go. I'll go Joe Anderson Brito first round KO. KO TKO. Sabatini's been stopped before by KO TKO. I think Brito's going to do it. He's got good power. And maybe he can get back on the winning track and start rebuilding momentum. Because if he wouldn't have lost his last fight, I think he would have been ready to fight somebody in the top 15 of that featherweight division. So hopefully he can get back on track with a win over Pat Sabatini. Moving up, the main event. This should be a decent fight. We have Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy is kind of like the featherweight Leon Edwards. I really see a lot of similarities between the both. I feel like they both kind of coast in the fight a little bit. They kind of flow in the fight a little bit. I will say Murphy, I think, he's a bit better at adapting mid-fight and moving with what he needs to do. And I don't think Edwards does that very well. So I will say he's better in that aspect. I also think Murphy is better in the grappling department than Leon Edwards. So what it comes down to in this fight, yes, Josh Emmett's old. He's 40 years old. Murphy has a slight reach advantage. I think he's cleaner on the feet. Josh Emmett kind of just lunge, throw the big right overhand right. He's good at wrestling, but he doesn't really use it very often. He mainly just looks for the KO shot. Part of me wants to pick Josh Emmett by KO because Murphy got clipped by Ige and hurt, and Ige kind of fumbled it and couldn't get the finish. Did recover well. We know he can go 5 rounds. He did it with Barboza. Part of me is telling me to pick Josh Emmett by KO. What are the odds? He's a pretty heavy favorite. Murphy is. I'm going to go with the underdog pick. I'm going to pick Josh Emmett to win by brutal KO. He's going to get back-to-back KOs. I might regret picking this, and I'll probably be able to tell within the first 2 rounds if I'm going to regret picking this. But I'm going to pick Josh Emmett to win via TKO KO. I don't know when it's going to happen. But I think if Dan Ige can clip Murphy on the chin and drop him that bad, I think if Emmett probably has more power than Dan Ige, and if Emmett clips him and hurts him, I think he's going to be able to put him away. So that's who I'm picking in the main event. Who are you guys picking? Let me know in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.